Call 911 because it's 311 that West Indies have. I don't know why I said that. We're not in America. That's a reference people understand, I guess. Hello and welcome to My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, Bhattacharjya and Zaheer Khan. But more importantly, with me...
You've been pretty good, I must say.
Oh.
Yeah, right through the tournament.
Oh, I was going to do some like gentle ribbing, but now you're giving me a compliment and embarrassed me.
Of course. I know what was coming.
Ah, well played. इन्होंने कहा जिससे पहले ताना comes, let me just do. Well done. Well played. Gracious as always, Mr. Zaheer Khan. Gracious in defeat this time, but that doesn't matter. Of course, 3 in a row for me on the expert couch. They're tukkas, yeah. They're just tukkas. I got it right. Mine was 304. They got to a 311. I think very well done by the West Indies to get over 300. If you remember, both these gentlemen said they would get below 300. No faith, I tell you. No faith only. But there they are. Big innings from Shai Hope. 77 for him. Nicholas Puran with a half century. Evan Lewis with a half century. Jason Holder with an almost half century, falling just a little short. And slim pickings for the Afghanistan bowlers. But brings me back to the most important point that both you gentlemen were making, that T20 cricket is about one person being the star. 50-over cricket is about many of them playing roles together. And West Indies was not getting that. Today they got that.
Two things. In fact, both the things Zach said came true. One is about 2-3 players contributing instead of just one player having a big one. So they got runs from Shai Hope, they got runs from Puran, from Holder. 3-4 guys get runs. The other important thing, Shai Hope batted for about the first 30 overs. Most of the first 30 overs Shai Hope batted. For the last 20 overs, Jason Holder batted. So mummy or daddy or one adult was always there in the
One supervising adult at the party, very important for people like Hetmaya and Puran and Evan Lewis, you know, I mean, relatively inexperienced players. And this actually allows them to go completely nuts because they've got somebody there telling them, when you're a younger player like that, when you're an attacking batsman like that, it's almost good that you're told when to go and when to say, all right, I've got this other end, you can do what you want.
See, West Indies as a team in this tournament has been slow learners. If you look at their campaign, they started with those short balls. It worked beautifully in that first match, went in the next match against Australia, overdid it till about 30 overs. They were in control with those short pitch deliveries till Coulter-Nile and Smith took it away from them. Why? Because they overdid that. They've not been proactive. It took them about 2-3 games after that to move away from that short pitch bowling tactics. And then once they went away from that, it worked for them in terms of bowling, keeping that control in the game through and through. And with batting as well, it's been a similar kind of story. So what they've done is they've been just going at that rate which sounds really good, but those high risk options usually you have to pay the price if the conditions are not favoring that. They continued with that. Today we've seen a very cautious approach. If you look at their score at 15 overs, it was 75. So that those first 20 overs, they just went about 4.3 runs per over.
Important thing is lost only one wicket.
Exactly, and that's what we've seen teams do in this tournament. That's what we've seen a success formula of many teams in ODI format, where you have to set a platform for the back end and you produce those kind of results at the back end, which is 11 runs per over in the last 10 overs, and now you've gone beyond the past score, which we are hoping to be 260, 270. Because the wicket did look like it's on the slower side. So that has been the case with West Indies. Now today, the kind of approach they've shown in batting, if they'd shown it right from the first or second match of the World Cup, they would have been in a completely different scenario to what they are in right now, and that's been disappointing. So they had all the resources. It's just that
they didn't marshal them. They didn't optimize them.
Yeah, maybe in terms of situational awareness, they didn't score in this World Cup and paid a heavy price for that.
So Shai Hope, when you see 77 of 92, you sometimes look at that and go, oh, but why was he going so slow? But it was the point of the game that he was playing in, which required him to be that prudent, Joy. And he had to do that. He had to hold it together. And that's what allows them. When you're 4 wickets down only in the 40th, your batsman can have a party in the back 10.
Correct. You have so much firepower. They have so much firepower. Puran, Hetman,
Brathwaite at 7.
Allen
at
all these
8.
are very, very... And even Jason Holder can actually change gears. Jason
Yeah.
Holder is capable of changing gears. So what you have is, as long as those two give you that stand, and that's exactly what they did. Again, with players like West Indians, young players especially, a lot of them don't play a lot of first-class cricket, not a lot of four-day games. What happens, you'll see a lot of Indian batsmen have is situational awareness.
Yeah.
Okay, under this situation, what am I supposed to do? A lot of those guys don't have that. They're very talented players, they're just instinctive players. And therefore, having that guy on the other side allows them that thing of saying that, okay, I'm going to do, if I'm going to go overboard, somebody's going to tell me, or he's going to rotate the strike, something is going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's what they need to play with full freedom. So that's happened for them today, and it's so important. And it's good to see that. The only problem, as we said, is maybe it's 3 matches or 4 matches too late, because this is where they finally got it together. But a team like this, they scored 11. It's an Afghan attack, I admit, but the kind of batsmen they have, they would score 9, 10, 11 against any attack in the world, provided they leave those 6, 7 wickets with them.
Yeah, that they leave those wickets, and today they did. For the Afghanistan bowlers, there was Mujib, of course, till he had bowled 7 overs. He had very good bowling figures, but then he was taken apart in the back 10 as well, just like everybody was. And then he finished with, he was 7 overs 22 or something, wasn't it?
7 overs 20.
They had Afghanistan bowlers had game in control till about 40th over. They just 200 runs. So those last 10 overs, everyone has gone for runs. The captain actually thought that his spinners will do the job for him in the back 10 as well, which he has not done in the previous matches.
Yeah.
If you go to see the game against India as well and Pakistan, he's not used his spin bowlers post that 40 over mark. And that's something which he tried doing in this match, but didn't work. They had the platform, and with the firepower which West Indies has at the back end, once that platform was set, it was difficult to control. And Puran and Holder both batted very well through that situation.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Run rate of 5 at the 40th over. But wickets being in hand is so important, and that's the thing with this World Cup. It's like people are looking, oh, it's so slow, it's so slow. But you can only optimize the back 10 if you have wickets in hand. A lot of teams, you go into it 5 wickets down, even 6 wickets down. You're like, dude, I can't really hit because I could be all out for 250.
Yeah, and you're worried if your tail is long. And look at what happened to Dhoni, against the West Indies only, He's in a situation, but he doesn't want to give away that extra wicket, because the moment you go to 5 or 6 wickets, it's a very different ball game.
Yeah, and that's why Nicholas Puran and Jason Holder, their partnership, 105 runs of 69 balls. There was fireworks on both ends. Zach, when you're bowling to a pair like that, one left hand, one right hand, both hitting big sixes, at that time, it's a tricky time for a bowler, right?
Also,
it's like, how do you save yourself?
Also the long levers, one height difference as well. So that also comes into play. But see, we've been saying that Holder is actually you can put him now in that batting all rounder category.
Yeah.
He's actually very free flowing with his batting. He's got that natural ability with the bat, and that is something which I feel is underutilized. He can actually promote himself in few moments and matches to control the innings, because of the inexperience in that batting lineup.
Yeah.
He has a test double 100, mind you. So
yeah, just earlier this year, it was a fantastic innings.
Yes, he's an accomplished batsman now. And going forward, I think for West Indies, it's important that he starts thinking in that fashion and use that anchor role to play that anchor role in that mid phase of ODI matches. That will go a long way. Just for the fact that they have got so many power hitters that you can actually build around it. So they got to use that option smartly, and if they start doing that, you'll see that the platforms and the conversion from that platform into big totals will be more consistent. And like I said, West Indies needs to now, moving on from the World Cup, planning for the next one probably needs to define their style of play. As a team, how are we going to play? There has to be a formula which one should work towards. I'm sure there will be some changes. There might be some new coaching system which will be placed in, new protocols, new systems. In that, I think the emphasis should be given on these kind of things. And if they're able to do that, there is enough talent in Caribbean islands, isn't it? Those
Yeah.
are natural cricketers.
Yeah.
They keep churning cricketers. So it's just about someone guiding them, someone putting together a formula which will go a long way for this.
That's why I think Jason Holder is such a good captain. I think he's brought a lot of calmness. I mean, handpicked by Clive Lloyd.
Yeah, but can you imagine a West Indies 25-year-old fast bowler
Yeah.
and the wisdom he has? They're not associated with fast bowlers, then West Indian fast bowler.
Yeah.
And he's such a calm man. Just see the way he bats, see the way he does. And I think that's what Zach is saying. He's not necessarily that he needs to bat at 4 every time or 5 every time. But if Shai Hope gets out, get him in early.
Yeah.
Get him in at 4 if necessary, get him in at 5 if necessary, because he brings that calm to the team in the middle, which is what they need. And every time he's talking about Dhacha, I'm just reminded of that one thing. The best West Indian side of the 70s and 80s, devastating side. They always had a player like that, a Larry Combs. Rotates
Yeah.
like tick, 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 backers. These are not big hitters, but they always understood instinctively that if you have a Viv Richards, a Clive Lloyd, all these big batsmen who hit everything, Collis King, you need those little, guys who are going to turn the ball around and do it. They always did that when they were in the most successful part of the game. And that's why they probably need those batsmen now today, because you can't have batsmen going from both ends all the time. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work, and it's not worked for the West Indies actually so far, which is why they have only that one win from the entire World Cup campaign. Can they make it 2 today? Well, they've given their bowlers a big score. The batsmen have given their bowlers a big score to defend. But Afghanistan, well, they want to win as well. They want to at least go out of the World Cup in style with their name on that points board. Let's have a look at the batsmen that they have to get this job done. 312. It's not going to be a small job. It's a big job. It's a big job. But who's the big man for the big job here? Or who are the few big men? Remember, if you use the West Indies template, you're not looking at one guy doing all the work. You're looking at a 70, you're looking at a couple of 50s.
See, the question is how many times Afghanistan has gone past 300. That not often you'll see that Afghanistan getting to a 300 run.
I feel like they have the proficiency or the aptitude to get to 300 in a 20 over game more than in a 50 over game.
No. I know you're sitting on the expert couch, but don't take it for granted.
Don't push it, huh? Don't push it too far. But think about it. It's a good angle. It's a good spin. You tell them 300 in a 20 over game, they'll go, let's go. You tell them 50 over game at a runner ball, like, how does one do that? How do you play for 3.5 hours?
They are batting thin.
Yeah.
Their strength has been bowling. You've seen the games they've troubled teams were the games which are around between 200 to 250. Those
Yeah.
are the kind of games where they really fancy their chances. I think 300 is a bit too much for them to get. And plus. Today, West Indies should go for that short ball tactic, which has worked. India also has used that tactics against Afghanistan when they were chasing 225. That worked beautifully. They're too dependent on Rahmat Shah, which they've changed the position now. He has opened the innings, so that's something which will make it even tougher for him to get going. Gulbadin is not a regular opener. He has been opening the innings. He's been a floater of sorts. He can bat from 1 to 8, wherever.
Yeah.
So that is something doesn't give you enough confidence that Afghanistan will get to that kind of total. Nabi batting up the order shows that the depth in Afghanistan batting lineup is lacking. I think going forward for Afghanistan, what they need is one genuine quick bowler who can make impact at the international level, and couple of batsmen.
Yeah.
Who can steady that ship, and start producing consistently good innings, which will help them get to that level where all the teams, when they are playing against them, can't really relax any conditions.
Yeah, the bowlers, you can't relax today against the West Indies bowlers because they're quick. They're going to bowl short, like Zach said, and they've got the ammunition. They've got enough ammunition. Ocean's going to come hard at UKMR Roach, and Sheldon Cottrell, who's been the pick of the West Indian bowlers, the highest number of wickets, Sergeant Salute. That Sergeant Salute has come out a lot in this tournament, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And look, you have Jason Holder as well, who can alter his game both ways.
Yeah.
He can bowl the short stuff if he wants to. He can control it. He can swing it. He can do it, everything. Again, this is not the kind of lineup that Afghanistan is used to playing. Remember one more thing. one of the big problems with Afghan cricket is they play so little list A cricket, they'll play so little 50 over cricket, and their stars, when they're playing outside, they play 20 over games. They're not that they're playing a lot of 50 over games. So it's difficult for them. They're not used to. And what happens in conditions like that is you can get spinners because they're different types of bowlers. But you don't get, your system is not producing batsmen who will bat 30, 35 overs, because which league in the world will give an Afghan batsman a chance to go there and say, "Ki boss, you play 50 over cricket for me."
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. So that's a major problem. That experience, why do you think all these guys, every Indian player, even if he's a 19-year-old, Prithvi Shaw would have played so many first-class matches. He's been playing 50 over cricket from the age of 13, 14 years old. That is what they're missing, and that's the problem of their being able to produce batsmen. So teams that are like that, they'll produce a lot of good bowlers. Batsman is a problem because batsman is all about grinding.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
And about being aware of how much time and space you have really to pace that innings out. Talking about pace, Sheldon Cottrell, let's just talk about him. The wickets that he's got, the line and length that he's been bowling, the attacking way that he's come in. He's, I don't know, Zach, I mean, if you had said before, pick out of Kemar and O'Shane, and Cottrell. I don't know how many people would have picked Cottrell as the top performing pace bowler for West Indies.
He has been consistent right throughout the World Cup, and he's someone who has added that different dimension to their bowling as well. If you see all the other bowlers out and out back of the length bowlers, the Cottrell is someone who can afford to pitch the ball up, and he has taken wickets also on those fuller deliveries where he took two in the first over in one of the matches. I think it was against New Zealand. So he's been very consistent, and probably the pick of the West Indies bowlers. We've seen the salute pretty often in this World Cup.
I love that celebration. Isn't that celebration amazing? What's the best celebration you've seen on a cricket field? Maybe somebody from one of your teams, whether it's IPL or India.
I can tell you the most tiring celebration is of Imran Tahir.
There
is no doubt about that.
He leaves the stadium. He goes. He's like, sometimes I feel like he's a surveyor. Like every time he takes a wicket, he's like, let me just measure the stadium again quickly. Are the side boundaries dimensions correct? Let me go run and check.
No, the best celebration possibly was Curtly Ambrose.
Yeah.
He had his own style of celebrating. He'll beat the drums in the air, and even the bowling action. He had that charisma in his bowling action. Where he would just do that locking off his wrist just before he load up. So he had a very peculiar load up style, and something which will always strike you.
Yeah. You always had a muted celebration. You never went like nuts.
Yeah.
Also, you took so many wickets, so you were exhausted yourself.
How can I take the next one?
Yeah, that was yours. It was like thinking. There was always Ashu used to do something like this sometimes. He used to run around.
He used to do that typical football type celebration, like
that
kind of celebration.
Shoaib Akhtar did the
Brett Lee had a good
jump,
good celebration. Yeah.
That also
jump and
scared me. I felt like he was going to pull his shoulder out.
No, that's a generator start. He must have lived in Bombay at some time. वो generator start करते
But
थे
in this World Cup,
Calcutta, load shedding, Calcutta or Gurgaon, your two places. Yeah, electricity doesn't go Mumbai.
ये सब आज की बात है, हमें भी पता था मुंबई.
But talking about celebrations in this World Cup, there's one celebration which has really made me laugh. Was the celebration of Chris Gayle after taking that wicket. Have you seen that one?
He nearly hurt himself. And then he's worried, अरे यार मेरा World Cup.
Then he realized that okay, I'm 40 years old now.
Let's not overdo it. Let's not jolt.
He actually hurt his shoulder celebrating the wicket.
That's insane. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt his shoulder when he hits 200-meter sixes. Hurts his shoulder after taking a wicket. That's quite nuts. All right, tomorrow, of course, Pakistan is playing. And we know we've got a lot of Pakistan cricket fans here as well. We were talking about scenarios.com. We decided to just break it down for you a little bit. They can get to 11 points and tie with New Zealand. But what do they have to do to jump over New Zealand in terms of net run rate? Here is how they can qualify. If they score 350, they have to beat Bangladesh, basically get them out for less than 40, right? If they score 400, they have to get them out for basically 85, sorry. And if they score 450, they got to get them out by Sir, karuna jaldi se
129
maths.
runs.
100, thank you. And Bangladesh opts to bat because as it kept getting higher, I was like, all right, I think I've undertaken a tough task. It's a slippery slope, this one. But if Bangladesh opts to bat first, there is nothing that Pakistan can do in terms of chasing to overtake the net run rate, which means they are out for sure. Win or lose, they are out if Murtaza wins the toss and chooses to bat first. Or if Sarfaraz wins the toss and chooses to bat first, I don't know. Like, you know.
Bowl first.
This is
Yeah.
bowl first. Sorry, bowl first. Do the other thing. Put Bangladesh into bat. Yes. If he does that, then well,
His chances of Prime Minister are over.
yeah, then they're completely over.
So it's pretty much going to be very difficult, isn't it? Like if
You reckon?
you're sitting on the expert couch.
I think.
Yeah.
I think
What is the
Pakistan will
expert?
score 360.
Tell you this thing, power goes to their head, these anchors.
Yeah.
दो बार जीत गए बस 300 टेस्ट विकेट भूल गए.
3 बार. 3 बार जीता मैं.
300 टेस्ट
3
विकेट.
back to back. But how many expert couches does he have?
8, 10.
The audacity of this bloke, I tell you. The audacity of this
No,
guy.
I'm still beating you overall in the World Cup.
No chance.
Check.
Let's tally them.
Check.
We'll tally them up right now.
Yeah.
And if your number is higher,
Hear what he's saying in your ears.
yeah, I have the better net run rate. So that's all one. And the two.
I have the number of wins. First you check number of wins, then it goes to net run rate. Net run rate doesn't help.
No, 2 of your wins. We've rained out 2 of your wins. We've abandoned those. They're gone.
I caught you there.
You did. I'm going to go to DRS now. I'm going to check with DRS. No, Zach is the champion. I'm just the pretender. But today I'm sitting on the couch. Let's have a look at the points table once, real quick, as I get formal. There you go. For Pakistan, of course, as I said, they're at 9 points and they can get to 11. But that net run rate difference, minus 0.7 and plus 0.1. So that difference, almost a 1 full point, almost and thereabouts, is very difficult to pick up in one game. And that I'm telling you, all of Pakistan is looking at West Indies and saying, you guys had 1 win. And that too against us.
Absolutely.
Why did that have to happen? Then they're looking at the rain, they're looking at everything. But listen, that's how it is. That's how the cookie crumbles. That's how the chips have fallen. Unfortunately, that's what it is. And it looks like it is going to be this. I want to look at the points table again because this will probably also give us an idea. I want to give you an idea of the qualification because Australia plays South Africa. They want to win that. They go to number 1. India then plays against Sri Lanka, and then it doesn't matter because India will finish at number 2. If Australia loses to South Africa, that means India can go to number 1 and potentially play New Zealand in the semi-final. As Zach said yesterday, no team is going to be bothered about who they're playing in the semi-final. Will they, though, my question to you, be bothered about where they're playing it? Because 1 and 4 play at Old Trafford in Manchester, 2 versus 3 plays at Edgbaston in Birmingham.
Yes, that can
That could matter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially for England, no matter what is playing at
England's going to be 3, so England's playing at Edgbaston.
Edgbaston. Okay, so
Yeah.
so short boundary. So they might have
Short boundary,
kind
one
of-
short boundary.
Yeah, short
one
boundary,
side.
yeah, one side.
Remember this is Edgbaston.
I think they will be happy to play at Edgbaston for sure. For India, Old Trafford has been a better wicket. If you see the bounce and the carry has been good, so that's something which helps you. Shot making is that much easier. So that's something which I feel will be little advantageous to India if they are playing there, and also the fact that they will be playing New Zealand if they happen to go to number 1.
Yeah.
So that can be a relatively easy draw. For the,
I mean, they're coming off
for
the back
semis,
of
because
3 losses.
New Zealand has not scored 300 as yet in the tournament.
Yeah, true.
And hope that's not the day where Guptill and Munro gives them the start. Then Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor. That their batting has not come together. So that's something which New Zealand has to figure out no matter who they are playing. Their bowling has been pretty consistent. They've been restricting teams at a under par score more often than not. Even with England, you've seen in the previous match, they had the platform to go on to get 340, 350, but they managed to pull it back. So their processes they've kept their processes pretty simple and clear when they were bowling. In terms of batting, the jigsaw puzzle has not solved right throughout the World Cup.
Yeah, they haven't got what West Indies got today, right? Steady contributions from everyone on the same day.
Yeah. So what is missing from them? Latham has scored runs in the previous match.
Yes.
So that should give him confidence. That should give the New Zealand batting also confidence. Lower order batsman has been contributing. So your Neeshams have scored. Grandom also has scored runs in the tournament. The only thing missing for New Zealand is the fact that their openers have not come to the party.
Yeah.
So that is something which is the area of concern for New Zealand. If they're able to sort it, then they can trouble any team, because the rest of the things they've figured. With India, they've also seen different matches. Like, there's been some low scoring matches which they've won. There's been high scoring matches which they've won. That should give them, and they've been playing the situation and the conditions.
Yep.
So that is the thing which is going for India going in the semis. For Australia, they've been consistent through and through the tournament, and also have had games which are so tough to win, but they managed to pull it through.
It's scrappy.
So that's the confidence they have, and England is the most threatening team right now going forward, is what I feel, because of the kind of pressure they've been dealing with for the last 4 matches.
4 years almost.
Yeah, and add 20 years to that, I think.
Actually, almost 30, right? I mean, 92 they made a semi-final.
Yeah, 27 years.
They made it after 92. My lord, that's a long time coming.
They had some terrible sides.
We spoke about England also. If they get through, we spoke about England. If they get through,
Sign them off. We signed them. They've had some terrible sides. They're just rubbish.
so if they get through, we knew that they're going to be the most threatening side. So
Yeah.
of all the 4 teams, I think the most dangerous team now going forward is England.
And that too at Edgbaston, because they like that ground. They like that short boundary. They all know that short boundary. They know it well. And they like to send the ball there.
That need not be the case. I don't think for a semi-final you're going to give a wicket which is
Move slightly to the
side
center.
of the square. You
So not
usually
like
you
this.
usually have the wickets which
Like this.
Yeah. So the balance will be maintained.
Little bit.
It'll be even boundary size.
Even you think, okay, I'm still saying there will be, this is a side bet for the couch. I'm still saying for that semi-final, what was it right now? It was a 58 and 74.
Yeah, there was basically at 45, 15,
So
15
16, there was a 16-meter difference.
14-meter difference, 42, 43.
58, 74, 16 tha.
No, it was
58 and 74.
was it 59, 70?
Yeah, 16. I am saying there will be at least 9, so single digit. If it's single digit difference, then it's mine. If it's double digit, it's yours.
What is single digit difference?
Means the difference is going to be, okay, difference is going to be 9 meters.
It's exactly the opposite. You think it's
Exactly
going to be
the
pitchy.
opposite.
If it's double digit, it's yours. Single digit, it's his.
No, it's going to be 9.
What's
9?
What's the minimum?
Less than 9 is yours, above 9 is mine.
I'll
Done?
simplify it for you.
Minimum is 9.
What was the minimum size of the boundary?
59.
59. That was the minimum. Rest
Yeah.
were higher. What is going to be the minimum boundary size?
65. 65. I'm just trying to see which way stacks me more. He's confused me with the question.
He's watching you.
Yeah. He's really.
I'm saying 67.
I'm saying there's going to be an 8,
The minimum
8 meter
distance,
difference.
minimum boundary distance in the ground that day will be 67 meters.
Minimum.
Minimum.
Done. ठीक है.
You're
That's
saying
what we-
65.
I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. We've just registered yours and anything else
He's
in
made
there,
such a joke
I'll try
of
to
you.
keep it.
No, you're trying to calculate right boundary, beach boundary, upper boundary, niche boundary.
Sir, this is
There's
what
only
in
one
Bengal they call
side.
jhol mudi.
Yeah.
I was trying to do jhol, but I've got into jhal mudi myself.
Fast bowler, the smartest fast bowler in the business for 20 years.
Can't
You're
mess with
playing with him. Don't mess with him.
Can't mess with him. And then he's bowling these slower leg cutters
The
right
man who knows the heavy roller from 30 kilometers away and saying, "Yeah, आज heavy roller use किया है."
Not just heavy roller, he also knew when something was happening at Wankhede, when the IPL was happening, he said, just check what the tide is today. I feel like there's high tide today because the ball is moving that way. And we're all looking at him going, are you on drugs? Like, how do you know that? Like, are you on hallucinogenics? Like, only then can you know that. So, I bow to you. In fact, I'm going to give this cow. Nah, I can't give it to you. You're too proud for you to just take it. So, I'll give you another game to win in the second half. You were saying that West Indies will win this easy. By how many runs will they win it?
By how many runs?
By how many runs will West Indies win?
120.
Oh,
Big call.
big one.
Straight pass.
Either somebody has a lot of faith in the West Indies bowlers or somebody wants to go home early today. Something is happening. So 120 you're saying. Done. We're only taking yours, right?
Okay, done.
Yeah? Yours, you want? I felt like you wanted to
For
be
a
in the
penny,
party.
for a pound.
No, you know.
82.
82. Done. I'm not. Okay, fine, also. Okay, fine.
Come
I
on.
feel that Afghanistan will win.
He's playing some Joel with us.
Yeah. You can keep that couch.
Zach's given up on me. He's like, are you on hallucinogens now? What's going on? Well, we're going to be here at the end of the 15th over with Cricbuzz Combox, and we're going to be here at the end of the 35th as well if the match is still alive at that point in time. Both Joy and Zach, of course, think it won't be. I don't mind because I'd like to go home early as well for a change. Thank you so much for watching. My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live is all for now. Big thank you to Joy Bhattacharjya and Zaheer Khan. Thanks to all of you for watching. I'm Gaurav Kapur. Goodbye.